Do you understand how much of a diva you have to be to get kicked out of the space and still steal the scene? Angie, they could never make me hate you.
Jesus, let me know, but they show no fish. They say you found it, but she's still gonna hold on. They say you found it, but she doesn't want.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for tuning into my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 6, episode 12. Okay, I felt like this episode was kind of slow, but when it picked up and it got good. And it was, baby, when I tell you, by the end of this episode, I literally had tears in my eyes, okay? We're going to talk about it. Before we get into this review, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, not only is it a free way to support my channel, but it's also a way of letting YouTube know that I am here and that you all are rocking with my commentary. So YouTube starts to shoot my content out to other viewers just like you, an audience who ordinarily would not get an opportunity to connect with my channel. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Any church announcements? Yes, I am very close to 4K. I have Scotch Bonnets, Bonnie Gang, Scotch Gang to thank for that. You all have been, engaging with my content, commenting, liking, down in the chat with me. Whenever, I don't know if you all know this, but whenever you see somebody's premiere, sometimes you go down in the chat and, the content creator will be down in the chat, with the people. So I always do that. Anytime you see a premiere on my channel, I'm always down in the chat interacting with folks and we have a good time. So anyway, I just wanted to thank all of the Scotch Bonnets who come through and join the chat with me every week. Like, I just love seeing my regulars show up and like even new names. I get really excited. So it's really been amazing.
Thank you, 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 thank you.
About to hit 4K soon. I would love to hit it before Christmas. If I don't, that's okay. I know I'm gonna hit it soon, but anyway, I just wanted to thank you all again so much. That being said, let's go ahead and get into the review, okay? So we start this episode with Meredith getting ready for her bat mitzvah. All of the women show up. Okay, so there's a difference. So bat mitzvah is for women and the bar mitzvah is for men. That's what I learned in this episode. So all of the women show up. Everybody looks nice. I think Whitney and Angie are the best dressed. Also, Meredith looks really good as well. And so did Mary. Bronwyn has on this very ill-fitting top and like this shag rug bolero jacket thing. It just blends into her skin and I don't think it really does anything for her. And it just looks kind of cheap for Bronwyn to like be the fashion girl, and like I don't know, I just expect her to like come a certain way. Brittany comes in, she's looking very 2007, the way she's styled, the way she's dressed, the way her hair is fashion. And I don't mean this in a good way. Like, I'm a person who very much channels the early 2000s. I was in junior high school in the early 2000s. I graduated junior high school in 2001, right? So the 2000s, the Y2K era is very much a part of my coming to age story. Like, black femmes of that time, video vixens, R&B artists and rapstresses, those are the women, and dancehall queens, those are the women who inform my style, right? So I hold a part of Y2K and the 2000s very close to my heart. She's doing it in a way that it doesn't look fashionable. It doesn't look like she is calling upon an era to be inspired by. It just looks very dated on her. There are moments when Brittany looks nice. Actually, in her confessional, she had this really pretty, like bone straight balayage. It looked really good on her. I was like, oh, okay, go ahead, Brittany. She looked nice. So anyway, Whitney is complimenting Brittany's nails, and apparently they have some rhinestones on them. And someone is asking Lisa, would you ever get rhinestones on your nails? She says, I would never. It's very bridge and tunnel. So bridge and tunnel means unsophisticated. It's like a very New York thing. It's old school. But in any case, she's calling her ghetto. She's calling the nails ghetto. And I just found this very interesting because it's like, okay, rhinestones on nails are ghetto, but you've raised your kids on fast food. You've raised your kids on Wendy's and Taco Bell. Okay, when you go to Italy, the food is too fresh for you. But rhinestones on nails are bridge and tunnel. Lisa girl, shut your mouth. Angie comes in and Bronwyn is on one immediately. Again, my issue with Bronwyn is she does not know how to win. She doesn't know how to be a friend. She doesn't know how to be an ally. She doesn't know how to have an ally. It's like, girl. I feel like she's doing too much. You don't have to go after everybody. You don't have to go against everybody. You can have a couple of friends to the side. You see how Heather is rocking. You had Whitney in your corner. You had Angie in your corner. Those are strong alliances to have, to me. Whitney will get the girls together when she's ready. Angie is running the girls up off of her in every episode. Hello? We see the type of damage that Angie can do. We saw what she did at the reunion. I don't know. I would want Angie on my side. Maybe it's because I like Angie and I would be friends with her in real life. Maybe that's what it is. Angie, Mary, now, Whitney Rose used to be one of my favorites, and then she started really getting on my nerves. So then everyone is asking if Mary is coming. We get a flash of Mary and Angie having a conversation at Mary's house. She's saying that she's going through a lot. She doesn't know if she's going to be able to make the party, and she starts crying. Angie is asking Mary, is everything okay? And I noticed we got this scene with Angie and Mary, which suggests to me that they are friends, and Angie really goes to check on and check for Mary, unlike Meredith, who wanted to throw in Mary's face last week, oh, I've been such a good friend to you over the past 3 years and nobody else wanted to. Oh, okay. Well, some of you in the comments reminded me, because I didn't watch season 2. I didn't watch the season with that racist Chinese lady. But in any case, some of you reminded me that that lady was very racist towards Mary. Did y'all tell me that she threw a drink on Mary? She did something to Mary? And nobody stood up for her? So what happened then, Meredith? Where was the friendship then? See, I can't take friends like Meredith that want to throw in your face what a good friend they were to you. I'm sure that Mary was a good friend to you in the same way, Meredith. Not only that, am I bugging? Or did y'all let me know also that Lisa viciously slut-shamed Meredith in season 2 as well? All right. Get down in the comments with me. Y'all know we go back and forth in the comments. Y'all know how we do, okay? So anyway, let's just move through these notes. I was saying this is what a friend would do. They would come over and they would sit with you, okay? And they would say to you, if you need me, I'm here. And when you're ready to talk, when you're ready to open up, I am here. Okay? Sometimes people just need you to sit with them. They don't need you to try to solve their problems. Sometimes they just need the problem to be heard in the room and for you to be there. A real friend. Hello? Bronwyn is saying that she's been on the outs with everyone. Well, girl, you're the reason that you're on the outs specifically with Angie and Whitney. You didn't have to tell them what Whitney said about Heather. You really didn't. And then you're on the outs with Angie because she told you to shut the F up a couple of times. Well, she told everybody to shut the F up. Let's be very clear, okay? And the other thing to that is you're going this hard at Angie, and you didn't even go this hard at Heather. You didn't even go this hard at Lisa, really. Like, the way you were getting real turned up on Angie, like, it gives me that you think that you can kind of steamroll her and treat her any kind of way in the same way that Lisa does. You're picking up cues from Lisa, and you're being disrespectful, and I don't like it. See, Bronwyn, I wanted to root for you, and now I'm just like, I gotta watch you again. Now I feel like I gotta watch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you switch up too easy. I don't... When people are on your side, just let it be. Just win. She doesn't know how to win. Anyway, so then Brittany tells Bronwyn, I didn't like Angie, making a slut-shaming comment towards me. So then Brittany tells Bronwyn, I didn't like that Angie was slut-shaming me and saying that I'm doing all of these guys. Brittany says, well, if you're accusing me of that, that's probably what you're doing with Sean. And then Maylee, who we've all forgotten about, she takes a gasp, and Bronwyn is a little bit gagged at it. And it just really feels to me like Bronwyn is trying too hard to have a moment right now, going harder at Angie than she has for Heather and Lisa for some reason. It's just really odd to me. I don't know. And then the thing is, too, Heather has been coming for your marriage. Every time we turn around, Heather is bringing up something about, your prenup with Todd that really only benefits you. So it's like she's trying to question your intentions. And who knows, like, that could put a bug in Todd's mind to be like, oh, well, maybe Bronwyn doesn't have, my best intentions at the forefront. So I don't know, like, Heather is moving so weird with you, and then you're going at Angie for simply telling you to shut the F up. Girl. So then we have Meredith's mom getting introduced to everyone. Meredith's mom has a very interesting look. I found that every time she was on my TV, I was fixated on her face for some reason. I couldn't take my eyes off her. I found myself constantly leaning in. Did anybody else feel like that? Do you all know what I mean when I say that? All right, I'm going to leave it alone because I don't want y'all to think that I'm ragging on her mother. I'm not ragging on her. I'm just saying. I couldn't take my eyes off this woman. Something about her face, the way it's set up, it was just like, wow. I don't know. Anyway, let me move along. I don't want y'all to think I'm coming for that lady. I'm not coming for her. I'm just saying the setup of her face is just very, like, unique. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me move on. I'm not coming for Meredith's mom, okay? Meredith is pulling up on a horse and buggy. The way this scene is shot, they're doing this view from between the horses' heads and then the side view of their heads. Y'all, it was one of the most disorienting shots I have seen on TV, period, ever. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. So they're doing this ceremony for Meredith. Mary pulls up late and she says, look, religion is very important to me and so is Meredith. So even though I am going through a lot with RJ at the moment, I think it was important that I show up. Now, can I just put a pin in, the conversation for a second? It didn't occur to me in the moment until after I watched the show. Y'all, it occurred to me when I put the timeline together, rather. Robert Jr. started using when he was 16. He's 21 now. This show is in its 5th season. 21 minus 16 is obviously 5, okay? I wonder if these problems arose for Robert Jr. whenever Mary came on this show and let people know that she is with her step grandfather. Imagine the impact that would have on a child at school, in public, wherever. When he said he felt like a stain on the world, it didn't even hit me in that moment until like maybe later that night when I was down in the comments with you all. And sometimes I'm realizing this too. When I have conversations with my best friend, it helps me to process my thoughts. When I have conversations with you all in the comments, it helps me to process my thoughts a little bit further. And I'm just like putting together the timeline and I'm like, damn, it could be that he's being bullied for this. Back to the episode. Mary shows up late. Mary is on the side of the church peeking in, looking inside of the church. And all of the women see, not all of the women, because I didn't see Angie in this scene. I only see Brittany and Heather. And I think Lisa. I can't remember. It was 3 women at least. But they were in this scene. They see her peeking in. Nobody calls her. Nobody gets up and runs out. I would have got up and ran out and said, Mary, girl, on this. Like, she clearly didn't know where the door was. And y'all just watched her, like, looking crazy outside of the church. I don't know. This is how you can tell that none of these women are her friends. But Mary came in late as hell and she went up to the front where everybody was at. I was like, Mary, why didn't you just sit in the back? Like, that's not how you come into like a church ceremony and, you're late. Anyway, so later on when the ceremony is over, Mary pulls Meredith to the side and she tells her, I never had anybody walk out of my house. I was very hurt by that, but today is your day. And Meredith apologizes to her. Mary apologizes back and says, listen, I feel like we should learn from this and move forward because I do love you. And they hug each other and embrace. And it was good to see them move forward. But I still don't trust Meredith. So then we have a scene with Angie and Bronwyn. And I forget how the conversation got started. But Angie is essentially saying to Bronwyn, I feel like you owe me an apology. And Bronwyn is like, oh, really? Because I feel like you owe me one, actually. Bronwyn says, you telling me to shut the F up 7,000 times was not okay. Bronwyn is getting really buck in this moment. Like, her body language is just like a lot. And I'm just like, you didn't even do all of this for Heather and Lisa. You got up and walked away from Lisa. Angie's a little bit shorter than Bronwyn in this moment. I don't know, like, Bronwyn doesn't seem like she's very tall. Maybe it was the heels she had on or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, Angie says, does it make you feel good if I tell you I'm sorry? Now, Angie, you my girl, but that's not an apology. You know that's not what you do. I don't mind you letting Bronwyn have it, but if you're going to apologize, you do need to be real. Angie is telling Bronwyn, listen, you talk shit about people too. You talk shit about Brittany. And Bronwyn is like, look, you're the one who said that she has been sleeping with 10 different guys. And Angie is like, well, actually, I said 3. Angie says, listen, I think that you're mean, and I think you do things to hurt people's feelings in social settings. Angie actually clocked your tea, because Bronwyn, you try to create these moments. I noticed that about you. And it feels like to me that you practice these moments, you rehearse them, and you deliver them. Angie is saying, you're always using foul language, and now it's an issue that I told you to shut the F up. And then at this point, Todd walks over. He's trying to calm the situation down. Angie is like, I'm sorry I told you to shut the F up. Bronwyn is still going at it with her. Todd pulls her away. So Todd and Bronwyn are having this conversation at the bar, and he's clearly upset. And he's like, look, why didn't you just walk away? The whole time Bronwyn and Todd are having this conversation, Heather is off on the side having a conversation, staring at them, clocking their tea the whole time. Heather is really fixated on Bronwyn and her relationship with Todd. Did anybody else notice that? Heather was staring at Bronwyn the entire time, okay? So then Bronwyn tells Brittany and Maylee what happened. Heather and Whitney are having this side conversation. Whitney says, listen, we need to talk about what Bronwyn said at camp day. I wasn't comfortable with it. And Heather is like, listen, girl, don't worry about it. We're not beefing. There's no damage control. All of these things that Whitney says, she has said to my face. I don't have a problem with her. If I did, I would tell her. Lisa comes over and she interrupts Whitney. And then she starts getting loud immediately. And it's like, Lisa, girl, shut up. Why does she always do that? She always comes in and bogarts and steamrolls everybody in the conversation, interrupts, interjects. And Whitney is like, no, I'm speaking. Sometimes I just want to mush the shit out of Lisa. Like, girl, move. Go somewhere. Lisa is telling Whitney, you make things up and you lie. Girl, this moment is not about you right now, okay? Shut up. So now all of the girls are together. Angie confronts everybody and she's like, listen, I feel like Bronwyn likes to twist things. Brittany is like, you called me a slut to Angie. Bronwyn says to Angie, listen, I'll be messy on your behalf. Brittany told me earlier that she thinks that you called her a slut because she thinks that you're one. And she's just sitting there and she's like, she's smiling to herself. She's very smug. Bronwyn likes to drop bombs, okay? It seems pressed. Now, I didn't mind it in this moment because I don't really care for Brittany. Now, for some reason in this episode, Brittany has it in her mind that she and Bronwyn are friends. In her confessional, she says, oh, Bronwyn and I are finally friends. Bronwyn showed you. Brittany is trying to roll it back and backpedal and pussy pop. And she's like, no, I didn't say that. And Angie is like, listen, I don't have a high body count and I don't look like I have a high body count, okay? I don't dress like I have a high body count. I don't have hair that's high body count hair. I don't have high body count shoes, okay? Your hair, it looks a little bit pornish to me. Baby, when I tell you Angie laid into Brittany's ass, I'm not gonna lie to you. Angie looks really good in this moment. She has on this like low cut Versace dress. Angie always looks good. I feel like Angie is Angie the best dressed? I feel like I would give it to Angie. Angie wears the things that I would wear most in this group. Brittany walks away. She's upset. She's crying. Brittany, this is Housewives, and I'm going to need you to get it together, okay? Because you want to talk shit about Angie, and then you want to turn around and run away and make yourself a victim. And Angie is like, listen, I didn't call her a slut. I called her hair slutty. That's not slut shaming. It's hair shaming. Y'all, Angie is really that girl to me. She just is, period.
She's drag.
She is. She's professional, and she looks beautiful.
Brittany went outside and she's crying. She's telling Meredith's kids what happened. She said, I just got called slutty vibe. Brooks was like, that's not nice. You look really beautiful. I don't know why, but both times that I watched that scene and I heard Brooks say it like that, it was so funny to me because you didn't see him say it like he was behind a curtain and you just hear him going, that's not nice. You look really beautiful. Like, I don't, just the way he's, go back and watch it. Like, it was just funny to me. Oh my God, did y'all catch that moment whenever Brittany was complaining about how Angie said her hair has slutty vibes and Lisa was like, well, girl, you could use a keratin treatment. I screamed, okay? Everyone is surrounding Brittany at this point. She's crying. Angie's like, listen, all right, girl, I'm sorry. I love your hair. Y'all, when she was like, I love your hair, and they were like, Angie, girl, don't lie. I was cracking up. Like, this whole scene was so funny. Meredith comes over, and she's like, oh, you're calling people whores and sluts? I don't know why you're here. You need to take your husband and go. Meredith doesn't even know what happened. She doesn't even know that Brittany made a comment about her first. Now, she just wants to kick out Angie because Angie and Sean both let her have it all season. Meredith doesn't like being called out. She doesn't like being wrong. Anyway, Angie is upset, and rightfully so, because it's like, girl, why did you invite me here to kick me out? For me, it would have gave, I've been thrown out of nicer establishments than this, and I would have pumped. I feel like Meredith is being super dramatic. She's like, oh, you disrespected her as a woman. And then she calls security on Angie. You can tell that she just really wanted to embarrass her in this moment. Meredith is saying that Angie has been repeatedly shaming her and other women. But what about when you were shaming her husband and implying that he was gay? And you knew that that was going to invite a bunch of scrutiny and ridicule to their door. You knew what those implications would do. You knew it could have destroyed their marriage, and you knew it could have destroyed his reputation. Hello? Which you did it anyway. Security goes and brings Angie a coat. She takes it out of their hand and she's like, this isn't mine, it's Brittany's. And she throws it on the floor. Baby, when I tell you, Angie gagged the scene. Let me tell you something. Only a true diva can get kicked out of a space and make the scene hers. Like, she took that coat and was like, that's Brittany's. And pumped. I said, baby, Angie showed up to the Gigiana and cleared you girls. She did. She did. All while getting kicked out. And she was backstage still kicking up a fuss. I said, I'm sorry. Say what you want about Angie, but she's just that girl. She just is. She just is. Sorry. Sorry. And Mary and Angie, they're those girls. Now, y'all, there was something else that happened that was really funny in this moment. Whenever her and Brittany were going back and forth, and Brittany walked away and she was all upset. And she was like, yeah, go ahead. You look all cheap with that bumper. And I didn't catch what she meant in that moment. And she said to Maylee, she was like, you have it too. Now, I didn't catch it until the very end of the episode upon the second time that I watched it. So you know when people have like that bump it, that kind of thing that you put under your ponytail to give it that coif, that bouffant, you know what I'm saying? That's what a bumper is, baby. I don't know why, but when I caught what Angie was saying, it made me cry. Because she told Maylee to her face, she was like, you have it too. Like, calling them cheap. Angie, they can never make me hate you. But that was the episode, y'all. Go ahead and drop down in the comments with me. Let me know how you felt about it. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's something about this girl, man. From around my way. Ever try to hold back your feelings?